No matter how much you dress up your logos creatively, there's still 39 seconds of logos. Can't have your brains and eat them too, Sony.
Welcome to Zombieland. Back for seconds.
I understand that the first movie had some fun with the narration, since it had a bunch of rules to explain and some backstory to cover in an otherwise breezy film. But using it again as a crutch for this movie is totally a sin. So what I mean to say is narration. Also, might as well go ahead and roll credits.
In the time since we last saw you, zombies have evolved.
But we'll neglect to give you a reason why, just like we ignored the reason for the outbreak in the first place. Whatever, super zombies, nut up or shut up, city names, we're here to play the hits, assholes.
In a world without YouTube, who wasn't entertained by a Homer?
I'm confident that one of the only existing institutions after a zombie apocalypse would be YouTube.
Okay, last one.
Are you sure? This monster montage was seriously necessary to show us only 3 different variations on the previous zombies. They're either really dumb, really smart, or really sneaky. Are there variations between them? Also, how has this one motherfucker survived 10 years in this universe if he has this little awareness? I know ninja zombies are fast, but this asshole walks in, barely looks around, and relaxes after no one responds to a hello? 10 years! 10 years!
Why not go big and go home?
I get the appeal of the White House, and it makes a fun set piece, but the movie doesn't use it for any purpose other than to show us how funny it is for them to be dicking around the president's crib. And they were in California, right? There are a ton of big houses there to live in. You could have a different one every week if you wanted. We're not playing the music, but Jesus, it only takes a couple of movies to create a zombie death montage set to a Metallica song cliche. That escalated quickly. Also, of all the times to use multiple rounds of gunfire, they choose the middle of the goddamn National Mall. Did the zombies also evolve past being attracted to noise? Because that was a big part of the end of the first movie. How is Little Rock shooting her gun here without actually pulling the trigger? Seriously, a form tackle? This is a ravenous zombie, you asshole, not a slot receiver going over the middle. I don't care how confident you are in your killing. Anything would be a better attack than this. If it were this easy to get into the mother White House, how is it not overrun right now by humans or zombies? A list of the most prominent film roles of Wesley Snipes includes neither Passenger 57 nor Money Train. Also, this creates a world where both Wesley Snipes and white men can't jump exist, so therefore Woody Harrelson exists. So why isn't everyone asking Tallahassee if he's Woody Harrelson when they meet him? This is just as obtuse as Bill Murray not recognizing the guy that looked exactly like his co-star from Kingpin in the last movie.
You remember what happened the last time you took the blindfold off?
I know I remember the last time I saw Emma Stone phone in a performance this hard, and I also remember it being Gangster Squad, coincidentally directed by the same dude as the one that did this movie.
What would you like for Christmas, little girl?
I would say movie has time for this, but the whole movie is this very sin.
Not to sound too sentimental, but those days at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue may have been the best days of my life.
And yet we see relatively little of this entire sequence. This seems like they shot the White House scenes from whatever was left on the lot after they broke the West Wing set.
Only Taft. He was our fattest president, so there's actually quite a lot left over.
Wow, just when I thought this movie couldn't fit in any more cliches, we've got a Taft was fat joke that stopped being funny around 1935.
That the Hope Diamond?
Well, I certainly hope it is.
True, the Hope Diamond is actually in Washington, D.C. at the Smithsonian, but Columbus sure does have some sudden, undiscovered jeweler skills to be able to set it into a ring, converting it from its regular necklace form.
Married people only do one thing.
What, fight? We already do that.
Get divorced.
Well, I don't see us going that route. I mean, where would we find the lawyers?
Good question. Another good question. Where would you find the judge, pastor, or military figure to marry you in the first place? This is supposed to be the Lincoln bedroom, and while I never personally have been there, I'm going to go ahead and say it has a bigger bed than a double. Also, someone please help me understand how anything has electricity. It was unbelievable in the first movie, but now tack on 10 extra years? That yada-yadaing about the rain and the dams and that bull. This is damn bull. The clapper? Is he going to ask where the beef is later? Or maybe wrap himself up in a Snuggie? Between this, the Elvis impersonations, and Little Rock's inability to be happy until she finds a man, this movie is more dated than the 2009 original. I know this movie is trying to be hip by having Columbus wear the Dragon's Lair shirt, but that is a terrible, terrible game, and you better believe I'm sending the out of it. The Friday the 13th game for the NES had less frustrating gameplay.
You know he's gonna take this beast thing pretty hard?
Not as hard as when he realizes he's in the exact same movie as the last one. Hell, 22 Jump Street was less obvious about rehashing their
Stop! Oh, God, sorry. No, stop! Stop! Oh!
How did Wichita not see this mother standing right in the middle of the road from a mile away? You're telling me there's not one dead or mutilated body in this mall? Do all the dead bodies disappear like killable NPCs in a video game here?
Like a junkie in search of a higher high, Tallahassee is no longer happy with Zombie Kill of the Week.
Which entails him watching this movie? Tallahassee's whole thing is avoiding other survivors, so where the hell does he hear about any of these stories? This movie is dumb. I don't know what's less believable, that Columbus missed hitting Madison at point-blank range, or that this is the first thing she says to a dude that just took a shot at her.
Don't mind me.
Oh, Hello, can I just, if I can have my body? Hi, sorry, this is Tallahassee.
Wow, we're supposed to believe Madison is so stupid and blonde that she wouldn't even turn around when she heard another person's voice, mostly because she's blonde. And blondes are stupid, get it?
Number 2 is double tap.
Double tap.
Double tap, yes.
Double tap. You.
You got me.
Clearly Madison is flirting hard with Columbus, and I have to ask, even after several years on your own, are you really going to get horned up over Jesse Eisenberg? Don't get me wrong, he's not grotesque or anything, but is he immediately jump bone-worthy?
This is the Oval Office. Why do they call it that?
Why would Madison recognize this office instantly but have no clue why they call it that?
I feel kind of guilty.
Because of Jesus? I know ways around that.
She's talking about butt sex, and while that's definitely not a sin, the fact that this is even brought up during this conversation is distractingly atrocious. This is the White House, but the walls are so thin that Woody can hear Columbus's Woody from a different room. What is this, the Quality Inn on Highway 43 in Sheboygan, Wisconsin? What, was that too hyper-specific as an example of thin walls?
Honey, I'm home.
Oh my god, you're back.
And you've definitely forgotten all decorum and common sense, considering you found the most kill-worthy way to announce your presence.
We picked up someone new. Just a boy. He's a couple years older than Little Rock. And
Why are they still using their city names? Haven't they become much more familiar over the last several years? This is like me knowing Bob Ritchie before he became Kid Rock, but still referring to him as Kid Rock even though I know him as Bob. And old as now, but goes by a kid moniker. And he's kind of an asshole.
You said Berkeley?
yes.
Lee.
Welcome to what is, in a movie with a lot of terrible running jokes, the worst one. Tallahassee doesn't like hippies or musicians or something. It's never funny, so I'll just go ahead and tack on 10 sins for Tallahassee being hippiest all over this joint.
You have a beautiful voice.
Yeah, and I've just noticed that everyone in this movie is as hell. Like there are no objectively ugly people in Zombieland. What are the odds?
Berkeley told us about this new kind of zombie that's stronger and faster.
If it had 2 other things, it would be remixed by Kanye. Also, if those are out there, why have they been living in the lap of boring luxury in this formerly bustling metropolis of Washington, D.C.?
I hate women who are always apologizing for things they have no reason to apologize for, but in this particular instance, I actually am.
Oh, thank you. That actually does mean a lot. I don't know, maybe this could be like a turning point for us.
Cue the wacky romantic comedy mishap shenanigans in 3, 2, 1.
Columbus, you coming back to bed?
Bingo! I haven't seen this movie before, but this shot was as obvious as a driving car about to be cinematically T-boned in an action movie.
Feast is back. I cannot wait to get my hands behind the... What the
I'm sorry, did I say Tallahassee's elitist tendencies toward pacifists was the worst running joke in the movie? Well, it's actually his minivan madness. There's just so many awful jokes in this movie, and they never stop.
Got it!
What in the butt?
How did they not think Madison was coming? I swear to God, there's more manufactured tension in this movie than a season finale of This Is Us.
As I checked, it's supposed to Acropolis.
I know this is kind of the point, but the fact that this character graduated from the Ariana Grande School of Diction will never not be annoying as hell.
It did belong to the first lady.
Well, I think it was given to the First Lady, but she heartlessly rejected it.
I give up. Is there anyone I can root for in this movie? Like, I'm seriously thinking about switching allegiances to the zombies.
Forgot the seatbelt rule.
Ha ha ha! It's funny that she got hurt because she's pretty and dumb. Ha ha ha!
This is what I'm talking about.
Why is he even talking about anything? They're coming up on a fully functional abandoned RV that they haven't cleared yet. What about this character has ever foretold that he would approach a hazardous situation as cavalierly as this?
The hood is 12 o'clock. The trunk is 6. You're all right.
Maybe he should be the guy who tries to start the camper so they can get the out of there instead of having to fight a horde of zombies.
115!
I feel like 60% of this movie is unnecessary bullet wasting, 30% arguing about relationships, and 80% stammering over misunderstandings. Also, practical question, how would they be hearing him over the sound of the constant gunfire?
They were the apex predator. Top of the food chain.
Well, except for the sentient humans that have actual, actionable intelligence and a ton of firepower, right? This is like saying bears are at the top of the food chain because they're big and scary, but we still kill those motherfuckers, right? I saw The Revenant.
Back on the road. Yay!
I know, right? The amazingly clear road that, other than a few mishaps, is generally unaffected by the now decade-old zombie apocalypse.
Let's say you were really drunk. You just get online and hop right in with a stranger.
I feel like a writer for this movie did just what I did. Google how long Uber has been around, determined the start date was 2009 when the first movie came out, and decided this was the perfect way to make Madison unanachronistically dense.
This is gonna be a long drive.
I hope not, because this movie has already felt much longer than the actual runtime. It's at this point in the series that I can totally predict what's going to happen at each of these stops. Hyper-stylized environment that's fawned over by the protagonist. Minimal but manageable threat presents itself. some frivolity, then a new member of the family is assimilated. If that doesn't happen over the next couple of minutes, I'll give all the sins back to, like, the Passengers video or something.
Sound like those are Elvis's actual shoes.
Did the sign maker know this moment would pay off down the road?
Nevada.
Which part?
Nevada's as close as you get.
I thought this whole identify yourself by your previous location thing was just a thing Tallahassee invented, but everyone in the country adopted this practice over the last 10 years, despite the main group being in one spot for most of that time.
You know how close I came to murraying you? You know when you shoot someone because you think they're a zombie? Apparently that's how Bill Murray died.
But Tallahassee was sitting and singing at the goddamn piano when Nevada walked up on him. Bill Murray was actively impersonating a zombie when Columbus shot him. Jesus, if you're gonna be cheekily self-referential, try to be somewhat smart about it, movie. Also, how is it possible that news of Bill Murray being killed would become well-known enough to create its own expression? There might be electricity, but we've seen no instance of internet or phones being used, and no one was at the Murray house except for the four of them.
Every lover of the king has a story.
Yeah, but only Mark Cohn has actually seen the ghost of him, followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and goddamn it if he didn't walk right through. Now, security, they did not see him.
Suddenly feel a little jealous of Robin Rogers.
Look, I'm not saying Nevada would never be interested in Tallahassee, but he's 18 years older than her, and I'm just about hitting my limit of the gorgeous women in this franchise displaying immediate stiff lady boners for any Tom, Dick, or Woody that drifts through their area.
No, no, no!
No.
I think you double parked. Or more perpendicular parked. Hope we don't get a ticket.
What is going on here?
Ooh, I know. An extremely lame attempt to shoehorn some talented comic actors into a very unfunny situation to act exactly like the established protagonists, just so that we can have that zing moment for the trailer.
You know what else is no bueno? You murdered the beast.
Yeah, what's up with that? I know we're in a dick swinging contest and all, but Albuquerque took out an extremely effective zombie killing automobile for no reason. Do these assholes want to survive anymore?
Those are T-800s, or at the very least T-700s.
There actually was no T-700.
Yeah, T-800's the first model.
Sure, there were no T-700s, but any true Terminator nerd would know that the T-1 was in fact the first model and not the T-800.
Time to nut up or shut up. That thing's very 2009.
Yeah, and they ignored Rule 52. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
But you could still go help them right now, right? This is like if the season finale of Seinfeld was set during the zombie apocalypse. So if they were just going to turn them into zombies less than 10 minutes after they were introduced, then what was the point? Trimming this movie down to 89 minutes wouldn't have been a bad thing. At this point, I really don't even blame the female characters from being conspicuously absent from this ridiculous fight. Sit it out, ladies. I hope you're enjoying some of those cocktails with the umbrellas that are supposedly only for the sissies.
Zombie kill of the year?
Sorry, not with the performance just turned in by Matteo Bianchi of Pisa, Italy.
Turned in where exactly? Make it up like you did with the dams keeping the lights on, but goddamn, it give me some story about how all this works.
Okay. Hey, no offense, but my sister is still out there.
Oh yeah, remember her? I thought this mission to save Little Rock was extremely critical, but we've been around at this location for what seems like longer than the gap between the two movies.
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
I mean, the movie's sinning itself now. It's like a human, but without brains. It's some sort of approximation of a movie, but it can't function completely as a movie. Having trouble coming up with a perfect comparison, but you know what I mean, right?
Stupid nut allergy.
Nut allergy.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. She had sex with Columbus earlier, so clearly Madison doesn't have a nut allergy.
Why wouldn't we just move to an island?
That's a really good idea.
That's definitely gonna be the premise for the third movie, coming in 2043 when Woody's in an iron lung and Jesse is in trifocals. Tallahassee is an asshole and not the sharpest tool in the shed at times, but pretty sure he would never take a purposeful chance on attracting a lot of zombies to them. Also, what was the plan if they ended up not staying in Babylon?
I'm late for my drum circle, so.
Madison is a dingbat, Tallahassee is a redneck with a temper, Columbus is a nerd with a bunch of rules, Wichita is a distant, manic, pixie dream girl, and now Little Rock is a hippie that's all about drum circles. Have we left any white stereotypes out? Is that the point? I guess I'm okay if that's the point, but that's a weird point, man.
I will never forget you. What's his name?
See you, pals.
It's Tallahassee, I told you that.
Sally Dallin!
This character is literally too stupid to be in a bad SNL sketch.
T-800! That decides it.
How are the zombies just now getting to Babylon? They were hot on the trail of Berkeley and Little Rock when they were headed there earlier. I don't care if they were in a car. That was forever ago, and these motherfuckers are running at full sprint. The only reason these goddamn motherfuckers are shooting goddamn fireworks right now is to set up this goddamn finale, and it's goddamn infuriating.
Then we hit the stragglers. What we do is we form a gauntlet.
Just FYI, the end of this movie is the silliest parts of Home Alone 2 and Robin Hood Prince of Thieves combined.
Light 'em up!
Really feels like the only people on set that were paying attention were the pyrotechnic crew. And honestly, God bless them for caring. Otherwise, we could have lost a perfectly good Emma Stone stunt double.
Oh boy, here they come.
It's fine, it really is, but I just picture Woody Harrelson stoned out of his mind reading these prepped effort lines during ADR, and it loses all the tension for me in this scene. There are things that are happening to injure and kill, yet the zombies are undeterred, but our heroes battle on, and stuff. But between the darkness and the supercut editing, me if I can see any of it. Nevada Ex Machina. Was there a real reason that we needed to have super zombies? I mean, this is almost the exact situation they were in during the final act of the last movie, right?
The day he led the first, the last, the only great American zombie jump.
This works. I mean, kind of, but mostly.
You hit me in the nuts with a hacky sack!
Honestly, it kind of feels like what this movie has been doing to me for the last 86 minutes.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'll marry you, even though life is over and you some other rando and I left you a couple months ago and we're weirdly in a hippie commune now and there are super zombies. But not really. And it's the end of the movie and sentimental music is playing and I already cashed the paycheck, so what the let's do this.
Just go for it.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
So after all this, not only does Little Rock, the only character that's been searching for a boyfriend, not find a companion, Tallahassee and Madison are hooking up with new mates? This movie is a serious dick to Little Rock.
Let's party.
Yeah, don't make sure there aren't any more zombies coming. Just turn that music up and have fun. Has anyone even shut the front door yet?
Elvis's 1955 Fleetwood Series 60.
Enjoy the simple things in a zombie apocalypse, I guess, but why would you ever drive a car with the top down? Especially when you know there are faster and meaner zombie strains out there now.
The idea of a trilogy.
This fake movie fake exists.
I'm so cold that I can use my nose drippings as a pair of chopsticks.
Hello?
The ninja.
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
I'm never gonna find a boyfriend or get married, have a family.
There's always room for family.
I'm a vegetarian. Vegan, actually.
You once were a vegan, but now you will be gone.
I carry a can of mace with me everywhere I go. And I can run really fast. It's like I have ESPN or something. I didn't actually want to tour, silly.
Oh.
Hi.
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 Hi. Do you mind not saying that?
You can gag me.
Dodge this.
Don't swing! Don't swing!
Meryl, swing away.
She wouldn't do that. She's not the type.
Sometimes, in the heat of the moment, it's forgivable to go ass to mouth.
Like the title of a great Phil Collins song. If you love somebody, set them free.
Pretty sure that wasn't him.
I think it might be. That's not. Nobody sings that song.